Hi, I'm Wanda with Jimmy Branch Homestead. I just wanted to bring you along and tell you a little bit about where we come from and where we plan on going to. First of all, I grew up in the state of Washington. We did have chickens, rabbits, pigs, and beef growing up. It was a family affair. We kind of all butchered as a family. Us kids did the grinding of the meat and packaging. So those were great skills that I was able to transfer into today. My father also hunted, so we had lots of deer that we ate year round. We also had a large garden, and so I learned to can with my mother. There was times as a teenager I kind of resented having to do those chores. But as an adult, I am so thankful to have learned those skills and brought them with me. As a young adult, I continued gardening with my small children and canning. But as I grew my career later on, I didn't really seem to have much time to be able to do either of those skills. However, since we've retired, I have had a garden that has kind of grown with us each year. We purchased this home and property that was my husband's great-grandparents. And we have garden, sorry about that. So I have raised 3 children, have 6 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. I met my husband in 2000 and we married in 2005. So we've been married almost 19 years. My husband was born and raised here in Missouri. His grandparents always had a large garden and did a lot of canning. So he did help with the gardening. His career was mainly in carpentry, where he was helping to build houses, and later apartment maintenance, and finally commercial type maintenance. So again, those are a lot of great skills that he is able to bring to our homestead. This property in 2013 from his great aunt. It was his great grandparents' home. So that was kind of exciting to keep in the family. She lived here until 2017 when she passed. She was almost 100 years old. She passed in September and would have been 100 in December. So we miss her greatly. We moved here actually in 2017. Partially, wasn't really fully living here. Tore up the kitchen, did a lot of remodeling. It took us 3 years. We remodeled the kitchen, and that was a huge project. We had to go all the way down to the floor joists and to the wall studs, so quite the undertaking. Then we had to remodel the bathroom, and then we added on to our bedroom because it was a very small bedroom. And then lastly, we did the dining room here, the spare bedroom, and the laundry room. We do still have the small living room and our office to do, but those have been put on hold to help so that we could start building our homestead. So we have lots of growth. During 2023, we greatly expanded the garden. I will give you a tour of that here shortly. 2019 we started the garden. In 2021 we added raspberries and blackberries. In 2022 I added strawberries. In 2023 we added blueberries, but most of those died, so I will be replanting those this spring. In 2023 we really expanded the garden. Took out the old fence. I'll kind of show you where the old fence was and then where the fence is today. We added 3 raised beds in which I grew beets, lettuces, carrots, And I tried corn, but it was too late when I got it in, so it didn't really do anything. Lots of additions as far as chickens. We built 2 chicken coops in 2023. I added Plymouth barred rocks, which are a dual purpose bird, and that was the reason I chose those, and plus they're pretty calm birds. So I had 4 hens and 2 roosters. I culled one of the roosters, and unfortunately we lost the second one during some excessive heat last August. The second chicken coop, I had a friend that had Easter eggers, and so I obtained some baby chicks from her. And so I want to keep the breeds pure, so we have 2 separate chicken coops. Currently I have 4 Easter egger hens and 1 rooster. I do plan on expanding the crop, but I do need to have a temporary living space for the new chicks as I get them, because I can't put them in with the current ones until they are adults. So we'll kind of give you a tour of both of those chicken coops and my current chicken flock here also in a few minutes. In 2024, we have lots of growth coming for our homestead. I'm not going to share what all of those things are. Hopefully you'll join us and grow with us as we grow our channel and our homestead, and you'll kind of see what all of those new exciting things are that we have coming for 2024. So I'm going to break for a moment and meet you outside in just a moment, and we'll share with you the garden. Okay, so this is where the gate was to our original garden, and the garden went to the post just over here to the left and back. It was about 30 by 40 feet. And then this last year we took the fence down and expanded it around. So in the main garden, we have mainly grown tomatoes, peppers, okra, and green beans. Last year I did try to plant green beans and peas in the fall, and unfortunately the rabbits kept getting them. So since we have put in the new fencing all the way around, I have not gotten the chicken wire back up around the bottom foot or two to keep the rabbits out. So that will be something I need to get accomplished this winter before I plant for the spring garden. When we expanded, as you can see, we went quite a bit wider. So this is all future growth of raised beds area. Back behind me, as I would have come out of the old garden, the first thing that we expanded was the berries. We had some blackberries that was behind the garage that I relocated into these raised beds and added, and then I have a few more to dig up and add again this winter. The raspberries was the next addition, and I repurposed this dog kennel . I weeded, but I need to pick up all the weeds. And this is the raspberry bed. I still need to get back in here. There's a few I still need to tie up. And of course, clean out the bottom here. Then for 2 summers now, this will be the 3rd year that I have strawberries. So I planted 2 3 by 10 foot beds, and these are ever-bearing strawberries. This bed over here is Ozark Beauties, And in the spring, I will need to clean them up and break them apart and probably build another bed to continue, because we really like strawberries and I'd like to have even more than the 2 beds. We do have a freeze dryer, so I freeze dried a lot of the berries. So this year I will be making a video on that. I had one last year, but it accidentally got deleted. So, and then this is our composting system. And each time I add vegetation, fruits, vegetables, kitchen stuff that I'm composting, then I add leaves to help compost that quicker as my browns. And this is Princess Kitty. So last year, I added this entire end. And these are the 3 raised beds that I added last year. This is where I had my beets planted. So this year I will be planting my tomatoes and my peppers in this bed. Last year during the summer I had lettuces and carrots in these first 2. And radishes. And I had bush beans in this last section here. And then I had corn, which I planted too late and was not able to get anything out of in this last bed. So one of our first big projects of this year, while it's still winter, hopefully so I can use it in the spring, is building a greenhouse. So our greenhouse will be approximately 10 by 30. I'll have to go and get the direct measurements. We have 5 16-foot panels that are due. This is our Plymouth barred rocks. I built this chicken coop last winter. I will do a separate video on how I did that to explain it in more detail. But this is our current flock of barred rocks. We have the 4 hens. They are great layers all summer long, and they started laying at 16 weeks, and they laid every day. So they have been phenomenal. They just, this last couple weeks, really started slowing down. And so I'm not going to put lights in there. I'm not going to force them to keep laying. I think they deserve a break. So we have some really cold weather coming. So today I will be taking out the hanging waters and using only the tubs. Yeah, they're wanting a treat. That's why they're all gathered here. And the second chicken coop that I built with a little bit of help from my husband, and he built the run entirely on this one. And this is our Easter eggers, and we have another gate back over here. We just received a load of wood chip compost. We'll be using that in the bottom of the new raised beds that I'm going to be building, and pots. Oh, yep, that rooster's telling me. So the bottom of this coop was built from our meat bird coop that we had that we moved around, but it was too heavy. So I ended up, instead of dismantling it, using it for the base for my chicken coop. And this coop is 8 foot by 8 foot, including the nesting boxes. And again, I'll do a better video on the chicken coops as a separate title. So this is the Easter egger flock. So I thank you for joining me today as a quick overview of our homestead and plans to come. We do have a lot more projects planned for 2024 besides the greenhouse, but I'll share those with you at a later time as we get closer. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing to support our channel and share our videos if you like it on your social media. It's the best way to help us grow our channel. Thank you so much. And Hawk says, cock-a-doodle-doo.